Hello and welcome to Barbershop Books Storytime with Alvin Irby. That's me. Today's story is a really cool book. I think you're going to like it, and I know I'm going to love it. It's called Caps for Sale. You know what? Guess what? I'm wearing a cap, and this story is about caps. Let's take a look at the cover. What do we see? I see a man in a tree, and he's really high up. He must not be afraid of heights. I would be super scared if I was that high up in a tree. Can you see how high up he is? He's way up here. And then look, down at the bottom of the tree, I see lots of hats. I wonder how many hats there are. Do you think we should count the hats? I think we should count the hats. Let's count. One. Wait, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, let's count the hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, I lost count. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are four hats for each color. And you know what else I see? I see 2 monkeys. Do you see them next to the tree? There's a monkey right here and a monkey right here. So I'm not sure what's going on in this story, but there's a dude in a tree, there are 2 monkeys, and then there's 12 hats. Maybe they're going to be doing something. The monkeys are going to do something with the hats? I don't know. Let's hop into the story and see what's happening today. All right. Once there was a peddler who sold caps. A peddler is just like a guy or a woman who sells stuff usually outside, like on the sidewalk or at a market, or sometimes they just walk around and sell stuff. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. Whoa, that would be kind of interesting if you sold stuff and everything that you sold, you stacked it on top of your head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. So let's look. Look at all these different caps. Cool. I don't think I could stack that many caps on top of my head without them falling off. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap." 50 cents a cap? These are some really cheap caps. Or maybe it was a long time ago. A long time ago, things didn't cost as much as they cost right now. Would you buy a cap for 50 cents? I would buy a cap for 50 cents. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. Oh man, He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps. That morning, nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said. And he walked out of town, slowly, as not to upset his caps. Upset. Do you think that caps can get mad? No, silly. What does he mean by he didn't want to upset his caps? Well, the word upset, it can mean mad, but it can also mean that you don't want to mess something up. So if something is really straight, and someone says they don't want to upset it, it just means that they don't want to mess it up. How cool is that? And look, here he is deciding that he's going to go for a walk because he wasn't able to sell any of his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk. Now, why do you think that the man wearing all these caps sat down very slowly? Why do you think he sat down so slow? I think it's probably because he didn't want to disturb or upset his caps. Because what would happen? Well, if he sat down super fast, like whoosh, I think his hats would fly everywhere. So, let's see. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back a little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First, his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. So he has a lot of colorful caps. And look, here he is sitting right next to the tree, leaning up against the tree trunk. Isn't that cool that he can balance all of those caps on his head? They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. And look, here's the sun in the sky. The sun looks happy. It has a smile on it. When you draw a sun, like in one of your pictures, do you ever draw a smile in the sun? I think that's kind of cool. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. Oh, that's nice. Look, he woke up feeling refreshed and very rested. But I see something that looks a little weird in this picture. Where are all of his hats? He had a ton of hats. He had lots of colorful hats. But in the picture, he's only wearing his one hat. Where do you think all of his hats, where do you think they went while he was sleeping? I don't know. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. Uh-oh. something has happened to all of his caps. But what? I don't know. And look, here he is filling his checked cap. Man, he must be so upset right now because that's how he makes all of his money, right? By selling his caps. So if all his caps are gone, how is he going to make money so he can buy something to eat? Oh man, I hope he finds his caps. He looked to the right of him. No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked in the back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Here's the man looking everywhere for his caps. But everywhere he looks, no caps. Where could they be? Where do you think his caps are? Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Look, here's the man looking up, up, up into the tree. Well, there's nothing at the bottom of the tree. I don't see anything here, but we can't see the top of the tree. So maybe there's something at the top of the tree. On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The monkeys are wearing caps? That looks funny. Look. All of the monkeys are wearing caps. And not just any caps, but colorful caps. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. So the peddler looked at the monkeys because they were high in the tree. And then the monkeys looked down at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. But what is he going to say to the monkeys? Because I don't think monkeys speak like human languages. What do you think? And look, here are all the monkeys in the tree. And here's the peddler looking up at them. I sure don't think he's happy. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking his finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, tss, 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 tss. Oh man. And look, you can even see the picture of some of the monkeys shaking their hands. I mean, their fingers. This made the peddler angry. So he shook both hands at them and said, you monkeys, you! You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook back both their hands back at him and said, tss, 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 tss. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, we're reading Caps for Sale. And boy, is this story getting exciting. There was this peddler who sold caps, and not only did he sell caps, but all of his caps were stacked on top of his head, really, really high. And so one day, he wasn't able to sell any caps, so he decided to take a walk out in the country. And he found a really nice tree to sit down and rest. And so he rested against the tree trunk and he took a long nap. And when he woke up, all the caps that were on top of his head, except for one, they were all gone. But where did they go? Monkeys! Monkeys took all of his caps and now they're wearing them. And he keeps screaming at the monkeys like, yo, monkeys, give me back my caps. And the monkeys are like, psh, 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 no, no, no. Well, they didn't say no, but they kind of made like a sound and they were like just pointing. Let's see what happens. Will he get his caps back? I don't know. Now he felt quite angry. He stomped his feet and he said, you monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, tch, 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 tch. So it looks like the monkeys are doing whatever the man is doing. First the man wagged his finger at them, and then they wagged their finger back at him. Then he wagged 2 fingers at them and was telling them to give him back his caps. But what did the monkeys do? They just were copying him. And they were wagging both their fingers. And now the man is stomping. And what do you think the monkeys are doing? Exactly the exact same thing. Man, these monkeys are making this peddler very, very mad. And look. Here he is, stomping his feet. And look at the monkeys. They're stomping their feet. By the time the peddler was really very, very angry, he stomped both his feet and shouted, you monkeys, you must give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, tss, 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 tss. Wow. These monkeys are some copycats. And they took his hats. That's not nice. And look, the peddler is stomping both of his feet. And here are the monkeys doing the exact same thing. Let's see what happens next. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. Oh no! He threw his cap on the ground? That's going to make his cap dirty. And then he left it? Wow. He must be super duper angry now. And look, you can see him right now about to throw his cap on the ground. Oh, we can't see the monkeys on this page. They must be really high in the tree. I wonder, oh, I get it. I wonder, because remember the monkeys are doing every single thing that the man is doing. So I wonder if when he threw his cap on the ground, do you think the monkeys are going to throw their caps on the ground? That would be really smart, right? But then each monkey pulled off his cap. Look, the monkeys are pulling off their caps. Are they going to throw them on the ground too? I don't know. We have to wait and see. And all of the gray caps, and all of the brown caps, and all of the blue caps, and all of the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So, the peddler got so angry that he threw his cap on the ground. But I don't even think he realized that the monkeys would copy him. I wonder what he's going to do now that all of his caps are falling down on the ground. What do you think the peddler's going to do? Is he going to run off angry, or is he going to go to his caps? Let's keep reading and find out. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And look, here's the peddler stacking all of the different colored caps. What's your favorite color cap? Is it the gray cap? Is it the checked cap? Is it the blue caps? What about the brown caps? Or maybe even the red caps? I think I would like the red cap. Or maybe the gray cap. My cap that I have, what color is it? It's gray. And it even has a little red. Let's see what happens next. And slowly, he walked back to town, calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" And look, here he is, all of the caps stacked on top of his head. And he is walking slowly, saying what? "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" And that is the end. Thank you so much for listening and watching Barbershop Books Storytime. If you would like to learn more information about Barbershop Books, please visit our website at barbershopbooks.org. You can also connect with us on social media at Barbershop Books. Well, until next time, bye.